Good afternoon and welcome. It is Monday, July 31st. I believe I am live and recording. Let's move that out of the way. There we go. Now we're on Facebook. Okay. Okay. Welcome. It is Monday, July 31st, 2023, and welcome to Pat's Stamping Place and a little bit of creativity today. So let me know if you are here, and I'm always looking to see if everything is connected right. Last week I had lighting problems. This week I think my lights are better. And I really didn't change anything. I just moved the table a little bit. So I don't know why I didn't think of that last week. So nobody has hopped on yet. I've got a lot to show and share with you today. And I am inky. My hands are inky. And that means I've had a good time today doing what I love. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If anybody's here, hop on, and I will welcome you as you come in. So if you saw the preview, I just got it posted. I was a little bit behind, and I kept looking at the time and thought, oh my goodness, I better get this set up. And fortunately, everything worked today. So today we are trucking along, and that is one of the new sets in the online exclusives on the Stampin' Up website at stampinup.com. And you could find me there at patmayer.stampinup.net and shop with me. But online exclusive means that it is only available online, but you can let me know that you want something and you can order it that way. But this gives Stampin' Up an opportunity to provide more things than come out in a catalog that's once a year or once every 4 months. So it just gives us more options. And this one I just love. Okay, trucking along. This is the stamp set. Let's flip you down to my desktop here. Let's see, that's still my face. There we go. Hey, Carol, welcome. Trucking along has been so popular, let's get it down here, that it has sold out once. And there is a punch that goes with this that actually I have put away. Where did I put it? I put it away. Oh, here it is. Carol, it's good to see that you are out and about again. I know you had some issues, and so I'm glad that you're joining in. But this is the punch, and I do have the punch. I grabbed it before it went out and is unavailable again. So I'm not even going to use it today. I'm not even going to tell you when it's supposed to be back in because it's a ways away. But this is a stamp set that even without that cute little builder punch, you can use on its own, either fussy cutting or just stamping and creating your own background. So look what all is in here. It has great sentiments as well as something for Christmas, because there's a Christmas tree that you can put in the bed of the truck. We've got special delivery, every day's a fresh start, sending you sunny thoughts, and that one can go with the palm tree. And down here are some flowers or sunflowers, and you can create a scene with some trees, but everything has an outline image. So here's the outline for the tree, and there's the inside of the tree. Here's some railing for the bed of a truck. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Let's see, I'm back to my face. There we go. And some flowers. What else here? Here's a tiny farm fresh that can go on the door of the truck. We've got some roadway here so that it doesn't look like your truck is up in the air, so to speak. Here's some grass. There's just so much here. So I'm going to show you my tips and tricks. If you've seen anybody else doing this video or showing this stamp set, everybody has their own way of doing it, and you will too. You'll find out what works best for you, but I'll show you what works best for me and why. So let me put this away. I've got lots of the pieces parts already pulled out and put on some blocks, but it is photopolymer and it is easy to see what you're stamping. So I'm going to put the stamp set away. I don't think I'll need to get it back out again, and show you a couple things. First of all, I strongly suggest that you have a piercing mat for doing your stamping with a photopolymer. So you always want a cushion under there, because the photopolymer stamps don't have a cushion on them like the regular red rubber ones do. And here, this is how I've been playing. I played a lot with this. First of all, to get just on practice paper. Some of these are good. Now that one's pretty near perfect. Some of them aren't so good. And here's comes my tips and tricks. Okay, I'm going to show you first on some scrap paper, and hopefully I'll be able to keep all of this. Let's get this paper out of the way. I'll show you that in a minute. Show you what I felt worked best for me. So basically the whole thing with this is about the truck. And you have this piece. Welcome, Gloria. I see your message now. Glad you're here. You have this piece, which is the inside of the truck. And if you will notice, no matter how hard you try on photopolymer, it is going to turn color. And it's just the way of the beast. It's what it does. And this can be as clean as can be. And in fact, it is clean. However, it will never go back to the pretty clear photopolymer that you see when the stamp set is brand new. So that's the inside color. Now, you can also color with Stampin' Blends. You can color in your image, your truck, with watercolor pencils, regular markers, but this is the coloring for the inside, so you don't have to color it. You also have an image like this. You can see that. And this is the outline image that shows you where your truck wheels are, and the door, and the window, and so forth. You also have a piece that shows you the wheels. And I'll show you my trick for this one. This is one I had a little bit harder time lining up, so to speak, although I did, but a little bit harder to make it good all the time. And where shall we start? Let's start with a bright red truck. Now, if you know me, you know I love red cars, because I now have a, well, it's about 6 weeks old, another red car. I love red cars. So, of course, I would love a red truck. So I'm going to use real red. At least on this one I am. And So this is the tips and tricks part. I'm going to show you doing this both ways. First of all, the kind of the way I like it. And that is, and it doesn't make any difference whether the grid is here or not. I'm just going to line it up on the grid. So there's the inside. And let me tell you why I like doing the inside first. The window of the truck is kind of a way that you can look and see what is happening. But because that, as much as I tried not to get that filled in when I tabbed with the ink, that makes it harder to see when I line it up with the outline image of the truck. So now, let me bring in the outline image of the truck, and let me bring back the stamp set again and show you. Here it is. I'll put it right there. On the truck, you have these white lines. You can see that. Okay, above the wheel wells and across the top of the truck bed, and here along the side where the door is. Those are kind of areas that might give, excuse me, give you an idea of where a light source might be or something. And those are good to line up and make it easier to line up. Well, you'll see this on here. You see those white areas when I stamp the inside image first. And that's what makes it easier to line up when I do the outline image second. Now, it doesn't always come out exactly perfect the way I want it, but I'll try my best. You know, once you have things and you're doing it online, on a video, it doesn't always do what you want it to do. And so I don't get this out of the way. I want to make sure you can see it. Let me try something here. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Whoa, I did that last week. Bring it out a little bit, Pat. Woo! All right, so you can see here where those lines are across, and trust me, I've used this a lot in the last 2 days. So I'm going to, without overreaching and getting my head in the way so much, a little bit of concentration here. Cross your fingers. That's pretty near perfect. There's a little bit of space here, and you could always come back in and fill that in with a marker if you want. But the line is over the wheel well. That one's there. We've got that one there with the door. So that part is working. Now, let me show you the way that I've seen others do it, and that is doing the outline first, just so you can see the difference. Again, this is what has worked for me, and there are lots of other demonstrators who have shown this already. Okay, so there's that image, and it's perfect. Now, this is where you could get your blends and color that in. Let's get this back over in the camera. You could color this in yourself if you like, and not even have to worry about this step. But if you want to use the image that's here, Let's get some red on this again. You'll notice that now I can't really see because this is so red. Move that out of the way. And I can still do a pretty good job with it, but I'm not sure it's going to work out. So we'll see. And again, this is away from me. Normally, I would probably stand up and have my head right over top of it. So I'm trying my best. But you can see where I can't really see in the window. And I know there's a glare there. So fingers crossed. Okay, that came out pretty good. And again, I'm not on regular cardstock, so that makes a difference as well. Let's get that out of there. And I didn't press it down very much, but that one's not too bad because I can still see the bumper over here and the bumper here, and then here are the wheels. Now let me show you about putting the wheel in and why I like it better if I can just use a marker. Again, I'm stamping this away from me so that you can see it better. And by the way, if you are new to my channel, whether on Facebook or YouTube is the channel, I would love to see your comments. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, I am not looking down over top of this. Let's see how I did. Ooh, oh my gosh, that's probably the best one I've done, and I'm don't even have my head over top. Let's see if I can do the same thing over here. And then we'll get started making a card. Let's move this one over here. So, although in my mind, if I can take a marker and color those tires in, I could probably do just as, oh my gosh. Maybe being away from it is a little bit better than putting my head over top of it. So that's probably one of the best ones that I've done so far. Too bad this is on grid paper, or I'd be cutting that out and using it. So let's put those away. And since I'm not using the punch, because it is not available and won't be available for quite some time, you can either stamp right on your project or stamp and cut it out. Now, I don't want to have you sit and watch me fussy cut things out, but this is very, very easy to do. And now you're really seeing my inky fingers. Okay, so here you can see where the wheel well lined up, here along the door, and I'll do some coloring here. So I do have several of these ready. All right, so with that in mind, let's get a clean sheet of scrap paper here to go on the cushion and bring out the paper that I want to make my card out of. This is the, now we need to zoom out again. There we go. This is the paper that is called One Horse Open Sleigh. It's also an online exclusive that goes with the One Horse Open Sleigh stamp set and dies, which I will be using sometime in the future. But this is just so perfect to go with a red truck or any color truck. So think about, being in the forest, snow, think about Christmas. It is the last day of July. People have been doing Christmas in July all month long, but tomorrow it will be August. So with that in mind, I have one card that I want to show you. And just about every piece in this stack of paper looks good with a red truck. So the paper alone is just great. And I have 2 cards to show you what I'm going to make. This one's pretty, more of a fall look. I'm sorry we don't have some other trees to go in here, but an empty truck is good too. Here's one that is just gorgeous. I guess this is probably water, so maybe our truck should be down here somewhere, or maybe up here. What else do we have? Ooh, here's a pretty one. Just a truck in the forest. Yep, that's the same one. And the backs of these papers are just as gorgeous. Here's a truck. I love this one. Now these are 6x6 papers, so I'll have to cut it down to show you. I guess that's a good one also. And let's do one more. Here's one where we can have the truck in the woods outside the little chalet. This is probably the only one that I don't think really works with the truck, and that's looking down on the animal prints. This one looks good. Your truck could be going downhill. Sliding down there. Okay, here's one. I do have a sample with this, with the truck. Here's one with a fox looking back. I'm not so sure that one looks so good either. And that's it. So this stack of paper is just beautiful. So let's make a quick card with this, since the truck is already done. And I'm going to use this one. And then we'll cut out a little tree. So this side, I think I can get rid of this partial tree over here. So I'm going to cut this down to 5.5. Oops. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. We had some rain yesterday, but it was pretty much a gorgeous day. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do here is take a 1/2 inch off of this one. Hold on a minute here. There we go. We're going, that's the 4 1/4 side. So we're going to take 1 3/4 inches off of this. So I want this to fill up my entire card base of basic white. But then I'm going to take this piece and do a little paper tearing. And when you tear paper, use your thumbs as a guide and just tear it towards you. We're not ripping, we're tearing. And that way, I can put this on the bottom. That's a little bit longer than I wanted to match up with that grass there. So let me cut a little bit more off of that. Maybe another 1/4 inch. You know how they say measure twice, cut once? Okay, let's see how we go here. And that's where the truck is going to go. Okay, that'll work. Now, this other piece that I tore off, I can put that on the inside of the card. The other side of this is a pretty red, so that will be good. So let's glue this to the card base. So last week after I finished and had the lighting issue, the rest of my week was kind of involved with having some major plumbing work done that was scheduled. It wasn't an emergency type thing, fortunately, but it did take 2 days to get it done. So when you live in an old house, and this house was built in 1951, I thought it was 54, but I looked it up and it said 51. So anyway, some old pipes needed to be replaced, and then there's always, you know how you watch Fixer Upper and they think it's all fixed and then it's not. That's kind of what happened here and why they had to come back a second day. All right, so now I'm going to take this piece, and that gives it a little bit more dimension and texture to have that little bit of white showing there. So let's glue that on. So now I not only have ink on my fingers, I have glue. This is going to be a day that I use my lava soap. So let's see what's happening this week then. Is I have my second cataract surgery scheduled for Thursday. I'm very excited about that. And the more I go along with the one that was done a month ago, by this time next week, I may be wearing readers. I'm not sure, but maybe I will. All right, so let me grab a small piece of scrap basic white, and let's put a tree in that truck. So I have shaded spruce. Oh, and I'm going to need the early espresso too, so the tree doesn't, or so the truck doesn't look like it's floating in air there. So I'm going to cut this or stamp this tree, and keep in mind it's at an angle, so to go in the truck. So I'm going to tap, 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 and stamp this here. You can see how it's at an angle. And then make sure I get the tree right. Tap, tap, tap this part, and I'm going to stamp it off so it's not quite as dark. Well, that is not good. That one I needed to put my head over top to watch and see what I was stamping. So let's do that again. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Stamp it off. Oh, much, much better. Whoa, much better. Now, here's a trick for putting fussy cut images into the bed of your truck. So let's take this little piece here, get rid of that nasty one, and start cutting around the edge. And remember, with fussy cutting, just kind of move your paper, not your scissors. And I do like to leave a little bit of white space around the edge, so in case you do get too close to the edge, you've got some wiggle room there. And here comes the little trick. Now, I want to put that in the bed of my truck. So as I come around to the bottom, I'm going to put a little tab here. And you'll see why in a minute. So leave that little tab. Maybe now you get the idea of what will happen to make that go into the bed of the truck. So now I have a little, basically a handle. Let's make this a little bit closer. A little handle here that I can put down in the bed of the truck. And then when I turn that over, I can either put a dimensional on there or add some glue there. So now I've got my truck. Okay, there are a couple other things I want to do to the truck. First of all, to make it look a little bit more realistic. Don't lose that. And I'm going to get my Smoky Slate Stampin' Blend, the light one. And color in the hubcaps of the make the tire not look so black, but a little bit more contrast there, if you can see that. Okay. I'm also going to use Smoky Slate to add a little bit to the bumper, tiny little areas to the bumper there. And then I want to grab a light pool party. Oops, that's the dark one. I want the light pool party. To add a little bit more depth and dimension to the window. Now, if the punch were available, you can punch out the window so you can actually see through it. But that's not going to happen here. Let's put a black steering wheel here too. There we go. So it just adds a little bit more to the truck before we add it to the project. So I am going to take a little bit of glue and add to this tab. Now, if you are only stamping this and not fussy cutting, of course, where's the glue? There we go. Of course, you wouldn't need that tab. That's only when you fussy cut. There we go. And now I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of the truck. And also put a dimensional over that tab. I like lots of dimensionals. Kind of go overboard a little bit, but it's okay. There's lots of them, and make sure that your card isn't going to come apart. All right, so let's put that right here by the tree. And yeah, we're good. I was thinking that I didn't put anything actually behind the tree that I cut out. Oh, one more. Oh, glad that wasn't down there all the way. All right, I've got early espresso here. And right about here, there we go. So it looks like the truck is actually on something. Okay, I could put road all the way across, but in other words, it grounds it a little bit more. And one other little thing. This is so cute. This tiny little stamp that says Farm Fresh. This is a Farm Fresh Christmas tree. I should have put this on here before I did that, but that's pretty secure on there with dimensionals behind it. And I think I need my head in the way. There we go. So now it says Farm Fresh. That's the name of our farm. And I could put a sentiment on there, but I think this one requires just putting something on the inside. So I'm not going to put a sentiment on the outside. I'll put it on the inside using early espresso. And add that little strip of red that I cut off from the paper. There we go. Wishing you a festive Christmas. And I think this is still 6 inches, so I'll need to trim off a little bit at the edge. Okay, almost done. And I usually like to leave a little bit of white at the bottom for a little bit of an edge there. And snip that off. So there's our festive Christmas made with One Horse Open Sleigh designer paper. Here was my sample. And then here was another one that I did with those big trees with a blue truck. Isn't that blue truck pretty? All right, now let me show you the next thing I came up with. And this is what I had more fun playing with than the Christmas part, because maybe I'm just not ready for Christmas yet. How about you? Oh, Carol, those background papers are just gorgeous. They could be used for any Christmas sentiment, even without the coordinating stamp set. So as it gets closer, I do have it, but I just haven't played with it yet because I've been playing with other things. So, but thank you. All right. Put the Christmas away and show you the next part. I tend to buy, and then I don't always use them, these Memories and More packets. And on page 135 in the catalog, we have Bright and Beautiful Memories and More card pack for $8.50. You get 50, what a deal this is. You get 50 total double-sided cards, 3x4, and 4x6 cards. So this is a larger type card. There are 4 sticker sheets, and it coordinates with the Bright and Beautiful Suite on page 14. That wonderful birthday suite that we have this year. And the papers that go with that, and the stamps that go with that. It's just a good celebration stamp set. So, of course, we think of birthdays, but it can be any kind of celebration. Graduation, promotion, moving, whatever. So there's the Bright and Beautiful card pack. And then there's also the Bright and Beautiful Memories and More cards and envelopes. You get 20 card bases and 20 envelopes. So let me show you what I did. Oh, the colors in there are Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, Bubble Bath, Lemon Lime Twist, and Pretty Peacock. Wow, love it. So let's put the catalog away. And I'm going to show you my projects that I did with this. And obviously the little red truck doesn't fit with any of those colors. So I will show you the package first. Now this one, these are the little 3x4 pieces. And on one of the cards that I'll show you in a minute, I just cut up the Hip Hip Hooray. Okay, and I'll show you that. So that came out of this. Hip Hip Hooray. And you can cut those individual words. And of course, these are double-sided. So you've got so many options with these. Let's put that out of the way. Cheers to you. Way to go. Let's celebrate something amazing. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love this. Love it, love it, love it. So these are the projects here that really make the cards awesome. Now this is a sticker sheet, and you've got some stars up here, some little rainbows. Love this. Balloons. Another rainbow. Good times. Yay you with balloons. And of course they're all double-sided that coordinate with that suite. Okay, so that's the card pack. So in my mind, both of these are just awesome together. Then this is the cards and envelopes. And look at the envelopes. You could use these to cut them up because these are fully lined, as you can see inside. You could cut these up and make them into oh so many cards. So here are the envelopes. Love them. These are the cards. So here's the bubble bath, and then here's the one that has the lemon lime twist, bubble bath, and the Azure Afternoon. So there's a variety of those. I think those half and half. Half of this and half of this. So 10 each. Now let me show you the samples that I came up with. So this is how I spent my morning. Yesterday was the Christmas stuff, and then this is what I did today. And again, these are 4x6 projects, or 4x6 cards that, so a little bit larger than the normal, but you can cut these down. You can do whatever you want with them. Then I have 2 other samples to show you. But look at, this is probably my favorite. Hip, hip, hooray. That's where I cut that out. I put some bling on there. We've got a little blue truck with some yellow sunflowers. So I took one of the 4x6 pieces here, cut it down a little bit, and then two of the 3x4, and then took part of that I cut down and put on the inside there. So that's one. I love that one. Here's one, make every day a celebration. And I took one of the 3x4 cards, put a Berry Burst truck here. I even put bling on the hubcaps, more bling here. Used one of the sticker sheets for some of the stars. So that can be a birthday. Here's another one. And I took one of the card bases, put a 4x6 on there. Let's see, I think this was Misty Moonlight. Got some balloons. I put some packages in the truck. Let's Party. Wrapped some of the bubble bath ribbon around the bottom. And now, what are you thinking when you see all this pink? Has anybody seen the new Barbie movie? I have not, but I sure see that everybody sounds like in the whole world has seen the Barbie movie. And it's all about pink. So I just love this. Love, love, love this. And you can send this to anybody anytime. Anytime's good for a party. Okay, here's another one. And again, I took one of those large card bases, put it on one of the cards, took one of the smaller 3x4s. This is a sticker sheet, and I put balloons in the truck bed, added a little bit of string there, and this one is in Berry Burst. So yay you. Give somebody a yay. Yay for whatever you want to celebrate. So these cards make me so, so happy. They're just so much fun. Now, here are two others that I did do. They're a little bit more after showing you these, which are a little over the top fun, a little bit more boring and dull, but they're still cute. Thanks, Carol. This is just another one, very kind of plain, but just sending you sunny thoughts for somebody who needs some sunshine with the little sunflowers there, a blue truck. This was done with the that new brick embossing folder and just a plain, very vanilla card base, and early espresso is the background there. This one also uses the clouds in the sky there. And then here's another one, kind of the same with the sunny thoughts, but a little bit different. And using some of the new designer paper, 6x6, in the new in colors. So this is Boho Blue. This is Misty Moonlight. And there we've got the truck, and then the sentiment called Sending You Sunny Thoughts. And I cut those out and then just highlighted sunny. So those are the samples for today. And I had so much fun. I know that I will be making many more of these. And let's get the Christmas ones back in here. So that's where all the inky fingers come from. I hope you learned a little bit today about how to use this set. And what I say is just practice a little bit and get things lined up the way you like best and whatever works for you. And then when the punch comes in, it makes it a little bit easier, but definitely you don't need to have the punch to make wonderful samples and projects with this. So, I mean, look at this. They're just easy to do. Just practice a little bit. Some are better than others. So there we got a couple reds, different shades of red. So I've got lots to go here. Here's another red one. Oh, I love that blue one. And here's one with a, this was funny. I think this is funny. A palm tree and a surfboard. Now I've seen surfboards in a truck. I don't know if I've ever seen a palm tree in a truck. And I made a little tab to go at the bottom of that. So anyway, whatever you do, have fun with the rest of your week. Think about getting the trucking a long stamp set and just have fun. So I will see you next week with some more creations. I don't know what they'll be, but we'll have fun getting ready to make them. So have a great rest of the week. It's supposed to be nice and cool.